Has everyone got pen and paper? Does anyone need a pen and paper? You need one? Yeah, cool. Say anticipation. There we go. I'd like these lovely books back, but you can rip the pages out. There we go. Perfect. Like I said, pretty much everyone in here, barring about 2 people, are my clients. So like I said, feel free to mingle, especially the ones that are in the boot camp. Like you're all in the same boat. Some of you are online, some of you are just members of the gym, but you're all on the same journey. So feel free to mingle, make new friends. That's what this whole thing's about. The weather's been absolutely amazing today, because the whole thing was actually go for a walk. But when I thought about going for a walk, it was middle of December, so I thought, okay, probably not going to make you guys walk in the rain. So like I said, this is going to be like an ongoing thing. So like I said, feel free to make friends, contact numbers, like stay in touch with each other. But next time I arrange one of these, it will be like a walk. Like I'm thinking Dovedale, if everyone knows Dovedale is, Peak District, like really nice. Like it's like that's the whole thing is about. Like you're all on the same sort of journey together. So obviously some of you guys only see me individually and there's no one around you, but others who've crossed paths. So I think Artie, you've crossed paths with a few people like Lydia and stuff. So then others of you are online. So when you're online, you don't get to see each other. So the whole reason for this is just like, you're not alone. That's basically my whole sort of point of this. So yeah, we'll get to talk, and then afterwards we'll go downstairs, and I'll beast you guys on the boot camp. And the gym actually closes at 1. I didn't realise it closed at 1. That means I've got access to even more equipment than I thought I had. So yes, I was quite excited about that. Turn this little thing on. Right, so before we start, housekeeping. People that have never been here before, the toilets. There's one downstairs at reception, because again, it's empty. So if that one's in use, into the gym, you'll see a row of toilets there. So again, if at any point you're not in school, just go. And again, there's change rooms and stuff. So afterwards, when we need to do the boot camp, I'll need a few minutes to set it up. So if you need to get changed, I'll let you know where the change rooms are. So don't stress about that. Before we start, people have worked with me before. When I get excited, I do tend to drop a few F-bombs. So if you're easily offended, I do apologise. I don't deliberately drop F-bombs, but I get a bit passionate about this thing. So if it slips out, I do apologise, and I'll get into why that may be. But like I said, yeah, it's not meant in any sort of malicious way. I just get super excited, and I was brought up in a very swearing environment, so sometimes they just slip out. So this whole thing, like I said to you before, it's all about you. This whole experience, again, is about you meeting new people, and it's just about your journey, your fat loss journey. So a lot of the people that work with me individually know that I work on mindset a lot, and probably guys think, why is he so into the mindset? It's because I've spent years getting people results and they don't stick to it afterwards. They get the amazing results, they think that's it, and then they're done. So they have the thing of, when I get to X, then I'll be happy, and it never happens. It never works that way, and the more you realise that, the more you'll actually take your mindset seriously. Like people look externally for happiness. Like when I get this new car, when I meet this person, when I get like whatever it is, then I'll be happy. But you can get happiness internally, and as weird and hippie as that sounds, when you're happy internally, you don't give a fuck about what's external. That's a bonus. So you get the body, but you're already happy. So this whole sort of thing is, from my personal journey, which I'll go into in a minute, like you see the person that's in front of you here and Mr. Confident when I'm doing your training, but that wasn't always the case, so we'll get into that. But this whole thing's about you. So like I said, it's not me preaching to you guys, which is why I've got you to have the pen and paper. Like take notes. Like don't worry about the person next to you. You'll get out of this what you put in. So it's a completely personal thing. Like take notes, do what you need to do. But when it comes to the actual workshop bit, like take it seriously, because you'll get out what you put in. Again, some of you guys are super successful in business, so I'm not trying to tell you how to change your business and stuff. The way I'm using this analogy is, it's like panning for gold. So there's going to be loads of dirt, just keep sifting for the little nuggets. Like some of this won't be relevant to you, but that one bit that is relevant to you, like use it and apply it, and I promise you it works. Because I'm speaking from a place of, I've done this. So again, same sort of principle, I always struggle with why. So I always struggle with motivation, I always struggle with sticking to something. Like all these things are common things, which hopefully we'll address in this thing today. Life's against me, this whole common thing, I don't have time. So all these sort of things, I'm going to help you manage better. So that's what this whole thing's about today, and you'll see as we go along, like I'll give you practical things you can actually go away with. So again, I don't want this to be motivational, I want it to be inspirational. So the difference is, motivational is, you come here, you get absolutely buzzed, you go away, forget it. No, I want to actually take action. So by the end of this, by the end of today, you'll go to bed and you have actually done something about it. That's the whole purpose of this, okay? And like I said, the main thing is I've been there. So I'm speaking from a place of experience, which is what we're going to go into now. So again, this isn't about me, but to give you a bit of a background, when it comes to swearing as well, like the more I get into this place of happiness and where I'm really sort of in an amazing place, I realise that people, again, some of you guys have the same thing, like you realise people around you have caused you to be negative. My biggest thing is my parents. My parents were amazing, like they absolutely loved me, like I didn't have a bad childhood or anything, but my dad always used to swear. He was always angry with himself and he used to swear all the time. Really bad road rage. chronic road rage. So guess what? I have road rage. I swear. I'll drop an F-bomb like nothing. But I don't mean it in a malicious way. I just drop an F-bomb because that's what I was brought up in. So I don't mean to do it. For me, it's just a nothing word. And my mum is super negative. My mum, 1 of 4. So I'm 1 of 4, so there's 3 of the people, like 3 of the brothers, so she's very protective. Be safe, be safe, be safe. So again, we'll get into that in a second, but that's how I was brought up. Be safe, but then be angry at yourself. That's literally my environment. And again, it's only recently in the last 6 months I've realised this. So when I look back at my entire life, I've been living in this horrible headspace. And again, some of you probably can relate to it, some of you can't, but there's little bits you will be able to relate to. The biggest thing for me was I suffered from depression. And again, if you follow me on Instagram, I talk about it quite openly now. And I didn't realise how badly I suffered from it and how it actually manifested until I've actually taken a step back and gone through all these steps to get out of it. And I've then taken a step and thought, fuck me, like I was in a really, really bad place. I didn't realise how bad it was. I was never suicidal, but I didn't want to wake up. So I didn't think of killing myself, but I didn't care if I woke up. That was the sort of point I was at. And again, some people in here knew me at that point, most of you didn't. And again, even my girlfriend in the back, she doesn't know some of the stuff, like how dark and deep it got. That's Sarah, by the way. She's the camera girl. So all this sort of stuff here, I'm talking from a place of I've been in this shit place, and all the steps I've taken are going to be listed on here. But the main thing for me was somebody you can relate to. It was a partner, so it was a girl called Susie, and I met her at this exhibition thing, and I felt absolutely head over heels in love with her. Like I literally, my life wasn't complete. I had nothing in my life. I didn't know my value, my worth, so I put it on another person. So as soon as I saw this person, oh my God, like awesome. So then she became me. So I moved her down from Manchester, she came and lived with me, absolutely incredible, but she had chronic mental health issues, which I didn't realise until it was too late. There was all the red flags, I didn't see the red flags, and eventually tried to kill me, to the point where I got arrested and nearly got sectioned. So from that, all the emotion that went into that, I never addressed that emotion, and I did what most people do, is I looked for someone else to go out with. And that person did exactly the same thing again. But she didn't try and kill me, she just literally fucked my head up for a year, to the point where I ended up going on holiday with her and her family, when I wasn't even with her, she was with another guy. Yeah, you laugh and joke. It's a long, messed up story, but there's more deep stuff into it. But again, it's now I look back at it and I can laugh, but at the time it wasn't funny. It really wasn't funny. And so again, when I'm saying all this stuff, I was in a fucking dark, dark place. And the reason why I've used this modelling picture is because, again, you see my social media and I'm modelling. And for those of you that follow me for a while, you'll see that I don't post modelling stuff anymore. It's because I was using modelling to basically tell everyone, yeah, I'm awesome, I'm amazing. Like, give me praise, give me like, make me feel amazing, which is what all these people do. So all you people that compare stuff on social media and think, oh, this person looks amazing. No, they fucking don't. They're miserable as fuck. Like, the amount of female models I know, and they're so fucking miserable, it's unbelievable. And I'll tell you now, the day this picture was taken, I was on the front cover of a magazine that got posted all over the East Midlands, in all nightclubs, Wetherspoons, all this stuff like Revs. That photo shoot right there, I was so fucking unbelievably miserable. We started off photo shooting in a guy's house, or in his amazing garden, and I had to take my top off. And there was a dark-haired girl, and there was a blonde model. The blonde model was absolutely stunning, and I refused to take my top off. So then I was in the mirror looking, I was literally almost in tears, like, fuck me, I look so shit. And she came in, and she was literally like, what the fuck, you look amazing. But she wasn't saying look amazing in a, trying to like boost my confidence. She genuinely meant, you look amazing. But honestly, I couldn't get my head around it. So, but that was posted again, and I thought it was amazing. No, that shoot was miserable. So you see this stuff on social media is a lie. I say this to people all the time, and this is from me being a male. I know female models that are in the exact same position as me, and they're just using it to basically get likes to make themselves feel better. So again, don't judge your life by social media. And again, it's something that's not what this talk's about, but just to let you know, like I've been there, I've been that model that people look at, they aspire to be. I was fucking miserable. I still model now, but I'm in a better place. I do it for me. I don't do it for gratification, which is why I don't post stuff on social media. Like, I've done plenty of photo shoots this year, but you won't see any on social media, because I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it for me, and I enjoy doing it, and I get paid good money for it. So again, the whole thing that annoyed me was that when I was in my lowest point, which is why I'm doing this talk, my whole thing is trying to get it in schools, which is why I'm video recording it. So again, my whole thing is to help people, because even if I'd have told someone pardon? I'm not going to swear in school, obviously. Well, I can try to tell the school in, but again, because I'm in safe and you guys know me, that's why I'm dropping the F-bombs. But again, obviously in schools, I'll be more aware of what I'm saying. But when it comes to the thing for me is, even if I told someone how low I was, no one could have helped me, because no one knows how to help someone. And the girl that tried to kill me, we tried to get her help. We even called up the social service people like this. She knew she had a problem, but no one helped. The waiting list, it was disgusting. But all the stuff I've used here has helped me get out of this depression. Again, it's not work for everyone. I'm not saying it's the cure for depression, it's not. But becoming aware of your thoughts and your actions and taking steps and having a goal and a vision and focus is the main thing behind it. But my thing, I'm just frustrated and pissed off that no one was there to help me. And even if they were, they didn't know how to do it. So now I've learned how to do it for myself. I'm just passing it on to you guys. So none of this stuff is mine. Like, these ideas aren't things I've created. I've learned from people. I've gone out there and I've sought how to sort this out. I've learned from successful people, and they all say the same stuff. And you'll see at the end from the people I've learned from. Go and research it. These are top multi-million-pound people. They've got businesses. They're motivational speakers. They are literally the top of their game, and they're all saying the same stuff. So I've just implemented it, and I'm passing it on. The analogies are mine, but the points aren't mine, okay? So I'm not trying to say I'm a guru, I'm not. I'm just telling you what's out there to help you guys. And as I said, sift through the dirt, take out the nuggets that you want. So, first exercise, addressing where you're currently at. So the main thing with this is, you need to be honest with where you're at. So right now, take inventory of where you're actually currently at in your life. This is why it's personal, so don't let the person next to you see it if you don't want to. Do it for yourself. So, first point, I'll give you 2 minutes to do this. What is your biggest challenge or problem you're facing right now? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be fitness. It could be life, business, relationship, anything. What's your biggest problem? Address it, because when you address it, you give it life, you give it meaning, and then you can do something about it. So be honest about it. Number 2, how did you get there? Again, be honest. Have you got there by yourself? Has someone, a partner, friends, whatever, dragged you there? Again, I said my parents did it for me, whatever it is. What has got you there? Be open, be honest about it. How does it make you feel? So again, the biggest thing is emotion, attaching some emotion behind it. Like, where you are right now, how does it make you feel? Does it make you pissed off, frustrated, annoyed, angry, anxious, depressed? What is it? Be honest with yourself. And if I had a magic wand, which I don't, but I wish I did, if I had a magic wand, how do you want your life to look? How do you want it to change? Like, what would it feel like? Get the emotion behind it. Like, where do you want to be? That's the biggest thing. Where do you want to be? How would it feel? Get some feeling into it and genuinely, properly mean it. So we give you guys 2 minutes. Like, be completely honest. And at the end, if someone wants to share theirs, they can do, but it's not essential. Okay, it's a private thing, so do what you need to do. Do you want a pen and paper? Come, observe. So again, this is not my exercise, this is stuff I've taken from other people. So just be completely honest and completely transparent about it. Got some nice gym music in the background as well. Yeah, do a little dance. So I'll give you guys another minute and a half. So, not essential, you don't have to do it, but does anyone want to share what their biggest problem is? I'm not going to go through all of it, but has anyone got any problems or challenges they've got right now? Yep, got him.
Overeating.
Overeating. Big thing was in, like, you can't stop yourself? Yep, perfect. Anyone else relate to that? Yeah? Yeah, a few people, cool. So I said, with this, it's a case of most people's problems are the same, the problems and challenges, like people aren't unique in their problems. And that's one of the biggest things I found, like when I was going through all my stuff, people are going through the same stuff. So people in this room, you've all got the same sort of problems and stuff. Hello? Hello. You all right? No, you're all right. So, from there, 2 big key things to remember. Because again, if you're thinking about stuff that's negative, it will elicit a negative emotion. So, your past does not equal your future. This is one of the biggest things that keeps coming up time and time again, especially when it comes to your thoughts. This isn't a thoughts workshop. Because I can literally talk about your thoughts and your mind. As again, if you see my Instagram, I'll talk about it for hours. But the biggest thing is like your future does not equal your past. Your past doesn't equal your future. So everything that's going on, moving forward, don't base it on how you're feeling right now and stuff that's happened in the past. Like the past is the past. Don't use the past to stop you moving forward. And number 2, it's impossible to fail if you're learning. And I say this to people all the time, like people, the clients of mine, when you guys mess up, when you overeat, don't worry about it. As long as you're learning from it, you haven't failed. And that's a big thing to remember. Like if you are learning, from that experience, then by definition, you cannot have failed, okay? So that's the biggest thing to take home. When you do mess up from your diet, or whatever you're trying to do, don't worry about it. Just think, every experience, how can I learn from this? And when you change your mind to do this, you're reframing yourself to look at every single experience in your life as how can I learn from this, okay? There's not everything is like anything negative. How can I learn from this? So, first thing, take back control. So you've got right now where you're struggling and where you're at. You need to give yourself a focus. So this is the biggest thing for me. I had no focus and no purpose in my life. And this comes from my business as well. I had no idea what I was doing in my business. I just knew I liked training people, getting results. That was it. I had absolutely no idea where I was going in my life. I had no idea what I wanted for myself personally. So the first thing I say to people is, you need to find your focus. You need to take back control. What is your north? And I say this because your life is a boat. So I realised I was going to use the analogy of a U-boat, a German U-boat, but then I realised it's a submarine, so it doesn't really work. So this is a boat, and it represents you. So your boat, when you're in a boat, when it's at a dock, is safe. But boats aren't meant to be safe at a dock. You're meant to be at sea, just like a boat. But so many people play it safe. They just want to be comfortable. And life isn't about being comfortable. It's about actually trying to explore yourself. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. Every single second we're close to death, without being morbid. And the more you look at it, these successful people, they realise this. The successful people realise that death is coming. So do something about it. And this is the biggest thing. The whole thing about today is being aware of things and then taking action. So first thing you've got to do is just set sail. Where are you going? This direction, set sail, let's go. But the most important thing with finding your north and your compass is that the storm of life will come. It's inevitable. I don't care how this life is. You cannot control everything in your life. You can't. It's impossible. So when the storm hits, it will knock you off course. You couldn't go back south. You could go back to the way you came from. But don't worry about it. As long as you know where your north is, when the seas get calm again, you can get back on track. And when the storms are coming and everything is going, you can try and find. That's all I can say, but you need to know where that is. Where are you going? Because without knowing where you're going, when shit hits the fan, life will dictate to you where you are going. So that's the biggest thing. All these people, they know what they want to take out of life, and no matter what happens, they keep moving forward in that direction. But you need to know it, and you need to realise that life will knock you off course. Also, you have two types of people in your life. You have anchors and you have engines. You need to identify these people in your life. I talk about this all the time, mood hoovers, negative people around you in your life. Again, my parents, I said this to you, my parents were super negative. I can't get rid of my parents, I love them. They have literally raised me amazingly, but they were negative. But identify it, so don't listen to all the negativity. People in your life will try and hold you back. Don't stress about it. But then equally, the people that are trying to propel you forward, if you don't know where you're going, the people in your life that are trying to push you forward don't know where they're pushing you to. They're just going to push around in circles for all they care. They don't know. So people around you that actually genuinely care, if you don't know where you're going yourself, it makes no difference who you've got around you. I can't tell you where to go. I can motivate you as much as you want. I can inspire you. But all you're going to do is go around in circles if you don't actually know where you're going, if that makes sense. So the biggest thing is identifying where you've come from, identify where you're going. And then find people that are lighthouses. So people to guide you there. So like I've said, I call them online mentors. Like a guy called Tony Robbins, I don't know if you know who Tony Robbins is, some of you do, some of you don't. Tony Robbins is one of the key people in personal development in the world. So all these people that I was learning from were all going back to Tony Robbins. So I went to Tony Robbins and took one of his courses. Again, it's a personal help thing, but again, it was all about getting shit together. And these people, all these people have done this course, these top people have done it. It didn't cost me a lot of money, but he's my online mentor. He was showing me the way. This is how to do things. So just because you don't know people, it's out there now. Social media, you can find people. It doesn't have to be in health and fitness. It could be anything, business, whatever you want to do. There's people out there that will guide you that have done it. And now with the social media, people need to start giving out information. People need to add value to you. So realise that. People out there, these top business people, to get you on board to buy from them, they need to give you value. Okay, that's how these new business models work. That's why my Instagram, I'm giving you value for free. Other people give you information for free. And if you know where to look, you can get the nuggets that you need in business, health, relationships, whatever it is. The information is out there, you've got to search for it. And at the end, I'll tell you some stuff. So key things, find your north. Know that you're in control of the boat. Shit will happen. Keep with your north and get people to guide you. I cannot stress that enough. So again, Tony Robbins, one of the best quotes, making a decision on what you want is the ultimate power you can give yourself. Because people don't know, like I said, people in their life, they don't know where they're going. And again, with fat loss and the whole thing, again, relating it back, that's fine, but why do you want to look a certain way? What's the actual real reason? We'll get that into that second, but you need to know where you're going to take back control of your life. Remember, if you don't take back control, the sea of life will tell you where to go. Take back control. So exercise 2, you need to find your north. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this because I just want you to write, just constantly write. Don't let your pen stop writing. The first thing you need to do is write down what you want from life. It could be to do with anything. If you don't know what you do want, Write down what you don't want, because when you know what you don't want, by default, you will know what you do want, okay? So write down what you do want or don't want, and then get the opposite. That's just task one. So it'll be 5 minutes to do that. So for 5 minutes solid, you are going to write down everything you want out of life. Don't let the pen stop. Go. You think I'm joking? Tony Robbins made me do it for 10 minutes. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. This is directly from Tony Robbins' course. It cost me a decent amount of money. I'm giving it you now, so do it. Do you need a pen and paper? Would you like a pen and paper? No? No. On your phone? Good plan. So again, even if you can't think of what you do want, what don't you want? Again, in relationships, in business, in life, in fat loss, anything, what do you want in the future? Literally, even if it's something stupid, just write it down, because your brain's thinking right now. Your brain's working, so use your brain. You focus your brain on this task. Just let your brain go wild, even if it's stupid, or you think it's stupid, just write it down. Okay, remember, if you're struggling, what you do want, what don't you want, what do you absolutely not want, and then write down the opposite. This is for you, so don't write down what your partner wants or anything like that. This is you. What do you want? Good, 2 more minutes. It gets hard, but again, your brain's going to work now. This is the point. When you start struggling, your brain is going to work to find things. So just listen to your brain. It's the whole point of this. It will get hard. Just keep writing. Just keep writing. Even if you come up with silly stuff, your stuff you might not even thought of that you want, but your brain now is just searching for things you want. Life, relationships, fitness, business. Last minute. Good, and relax there. Now, what we've got on the page, give them time frames. So go back down, everything you've written, and then give them a time frame. Do you want this in less than a year, 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years plus? And again, be realistic. So if you want £1 million, is that going to happen in less than a year? It can do, but if you're currently broke with no money, can you get £1 million in a year? Probably not. So be realistic, give it a time frame. Again, if you've got £1 million on there, that's awesome. Again, give it a realistic time frame from where you're currently at. So less than a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Give girls another minute. Awesome. Right, now from the ones that are 1 year plus, so 1 year or less, pick 3 that you want to focus on right now. So I have all the ones that are a year and less. What 3 do you want to focus on? So if you've got 5, you've got to pick 3. What are the 3 things on that list that your brain's come up with that you want to focus on? And circle them, whatever you want to do, like scribble a line under them, but just pick 3. Perfect. Then that's your north. It's that simple. But again, the whole point of this is it's so simple. The stuff I'm telling you is so simple. But if you actually don't have, you had no choice then. You had to sit down and do it. Because then life happens. Like, again, women, again, got kids, if partners, whatever it is, like life gets in the way. So the fact you've actually had to sit down right now and tell your brain, what do you want? You now know. So you now have a list of things that you want, whether you knew you wanted it or not, but your brain has come up with those ideas. And now you have 3 things to focus on this year. It's that simple. Like, that's how you find your north. So again, it could be in totally different fields. Like, one could be relationship, fitness, business, whatever it is. But now you know what your brain wants. Like, what do you actually want? You now have your focus. And that's the biggest thing. You need to actually become aware of these things to take action. Because people just think, oh, I want this, I want that. But if you don't really want it, then what's the point? But now you have all the things, you've picked 3 things. So that's now your focus. So with this now, attach some meaning to your goals. So some people have spoke about this, and emotion is the key that drives us to anything we do. Prime example, I had a client a few years ago, his name was Chris, he was 48 years old. He came to me and he basically said, my brother was fit and healthy, dropped dead at 50 years old with a heart attack. This guy was morbidly obese. His brother was the fit one, the healthy one. He died of a heart attack at 50. This guy had created this listed company. He was a multi-millionaire. He was absolutely petrified that as soon as he hit 50, he was going to die. Talk about emotion behind it. Like, that guy was like a machine because he was so determined not to die. That was his emotion. I had a friend the other day. She's just lost a job. She had 2 part-time jobs. She just lost one of the part-time jobs. And I basically had this little conversation with her, like, what do you want? He said, I want to pay the mortgage off. And now I know her backstory and the stuff with her life. I said, that's not what you want. She said, what do you mean? I said, you don't want to pay the mortgage off. To give it a bit of back context, her ex-husband was having an affair, left her for someone, and then he died and left his kid nothing in the will and left this woman and her kid everything. So basically, he completely fucked her and her son over. Like, his own flesh and blood had got nothing. So I said, you don't want to pay the mortgage off. I said, what do you want? We basically broke it down. And it came to the point of she wants to look after her son. She wants to make sure her son has some security. And she literally burst out crying. And I'm sure, it gives me goosebumps talking about this. This was literally 3 days ago this happened. But that was her why. So she doesn't want to pay the mortgage off. Because who wants to get up every morning and pay the mortgage off? No one. When you've got to get out of bed, when you've got to do the nutrition plan, but you didn't feed kids, emotion. I don't have to be kids because some people don't have kids. But what is your reason why you want to do those things? And if you don't know, when you get home later on, those 3 things, ask yourself 5 times, why do you want this? So that's what I did with her. She wants to pay the mortgage off. Why? 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 And keep breaking it down until you get to your answer. 5 times. Ask yourself why, and that will give you your reason why you want to do these things. And again, it gets deep. So some of you have had consultations with me. Some of you have cried in consultations. The person there at the bottom, might not see it from the table, her eyes are red and puffy because she cried in the consultation because it went that deep. Don't have to do it in front of you right now, but do it when you get home. Like, take some minutes and actually realise why you want to do these things and get some emotion behind it, because it'll make you do it. It'll make you want to get out of bed, and when this fucking storm of life comes, it'll make you want to do it. I had no why, I had no emotion, I didn't know what I wanted to do. What's my north now is to help people. This is what I want to do. That's why I get so passionate about it, because I want to help you guys. That's it, it's that simple. That's my north, to help as many people as possible. That's why I want to get into schools, because kids at 16 years old thinking of suicide because what they see on social media isn't right, and the teachers aren't helping them. So they can relate to people like me because I'm the model. The teacher's never been a model. I'm literally going to tell them the truth. So that's my passion, that's my north, that's my why. That's why I want to help you guys out, because that's what I want to do. I don't just want to be a personal trainer, I want to actually help you guys change your life. I'm not a counsellor, I'm not claiming to be, but these little tools here, the gratitude journals I get to do, the reason why I get to do it is to take back control of your mind, and now you're starting to see why I do it. That's my passion, that's my why. That's why I swear, because I get to passionate and I go back to my default mode. So we've now found out why. So you've got the reason why you want to do something, but the next stage is setting up your environment for success. The biggest thing I say to people is you need a morning and evening routine. Why? So you become proactive and not reactive. What's the first thing most people do in the morning? Wake up, check their phone. So again, if you're a business person, you've got a bad business call, what happens? Straight away pissed off. Boyfriend pisses you off, friend pisses you off. Straight away you become reactive to what you see on social media. First thing you do, go on Instagram, see that model that you're following. Fucking hell, God, I'm so pathetic. Straight away you've started your day off negatively. A lot of people, they just wake up rushed. When you're rushed, the rest of your day becomes rushed. One of the biggest things that I did after I found the reason why was get a routine. All these successful people have a routine. They all have the same routine. I've adopted my own routine of theirs, which involves me taking a freezing cold shower every morning. If you don't believe me, she hears me. Freezing cold shower. Freezing cold. Freezing cold. Why? Because I'm not telling you to take cold showers, But they were saying, we take cold showers. I'm now looking at the research behind why that is. I'm not going into that today, but again, research on cold showers. It's one of the best things you can possibly do. I don't care. I'll do it for 3 minutes every day. I don't care. Tony Robbins has a cryo chamber. One of his freezing cold things. Every single morning he does it. Because it's straight away, not a single day do I want to get into that thing and get cold. I don't. It's freezing. But I'm not listening to what my mind says. I'm doing what has to be done. And when I'm in there, I'll do a little mantra. I'll say to myself, I am doing this because I'm doing what other people won't do. That's something for the day. That's my routine. You don't have to do it. But I'll get up. I'll go into a cold shower. I'll then do my hair badly. And after I've done my hair, I'll meditate. I'll meditate for 15 minutes, and I'll do my journal for the morning. So I'll write out what I've got planned for the day, and I'll write down my gratitude journal for the day. That's me. It takes me 30 minutes, then I'll turn my phone on. So straight away, when I'm meditating, I'm taking back control of the day. Then, if I turn my phone on, and one of you guys has texted me, something's gone wrong, cool. That's fine. Not bothered. But if I turn it on, Dan, can I do, and I'm stressed, you're going to get my stress response. No. I'm telling the day what's going on. If you can take control of the beginning and the end, then the middle takes care of itself. So get yourself into a routine. Familiarity. That's literally what I just said. So wake up in the morning, you're late, you've snoozed, whatever it is, straight away you're starting off stressed, especially if you've got kids. Kids wake you up. You're then having to look after your kids. You've got no time for yourself. The kid's going nuts. It just sets you up wrong. You're on the back foot. You get out of the house late. You forget things. Like you're playing catch up. So one of the biggest things is if you've got a routine, then you take back that control. Start off stressed in the morning, go to work. What happens? Everything's stressed. You're late, come in, and Julie gives you something, some paperwork. Oh, bloody hell. Everything's just getting stressful. Then Dave says something to you that pisses you off. Like, all these things get on top of you because you've let it get on top of you. You're playing catch up with the day. You're not in control of the day. You've not gone into that office or whatever you're doing and like, right, cool, hit me. Life has just thrown stuff at you. The whole thing about the boat. You've not taken control of the boat. Life is throwing stuff at you. It's just a nightmare. Then you go home. I'm not saying you've got a dog that would be weird if you're beating your dog up, but again, you get the picture. Like, do you know what I mean? Then you get home and then kids want stuff, your partner wants stuff, the parents want stuff, whatever it is. You've got other commitments and you've just got no time for you. Then you go to bed stressed. So again, some of you are nurses. When you finished work, you can't turn off because everything's going off nuts. Like, you're not taking control of the evening. And there's a nurse in here, I'm not going to call her out, but she's now completely changed her mindset. So when she goes to bed, she can actually go to bed. So rather than coming back from work, eating, then going to bed, and then not sleeping for 2 hours, she'll do her evening routine. It'll take her 30 minutes, but then she'll actually go to sleep. So she saves herself time. So if you take control of the morning and the evening, the rest will take care of itself. Again, you can't control life, but you can control how you react to what's going on. So when it look better, if you woke up at your time, so when you wanted to, you had an alarm 15 minutes before your kids wake up, 15 minutes before your partner wakes up, whatever it is, but you are telling it, right, I'm waking up this time to have me time. This is me time. Like we just did earlier on with the finding like your north, that was you time. That was just for you right there. That was your little personal space to work on yourself. Every single morning, wouldn't it be great if you had a little personal 15, 20 minutes just to work on yourself? Even if it's just 5 minutes meditation, whatever it is, just 5 minutes to purposefully work on you and just ground yourself and think, right, come on life, come on kids, whatever you've got, come at me, like I'm cool. Because again, if you're all stressed, who's going to get it? Your partner, your kids. Then what happens? Everything else becomes negative. God, you're always so miserable, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because you woke up late and you're stressed. But actually, how would it be like? Do you know what? You're really positive today. And again, sober come test this. Like, I was so grumpy and stressed at everything. And some of you guys that have been with me for a while, you'll notice that my mindset, my mood's changed. Because I don't care. Like, come at me, life. I'm in a good place to deal with this. Like, I meditated this morning. I'm good. So like, anything that's stressed here, I was ready for it. I prepared for this to break. Like, so I prepared for it. I'd visualised it. I'd meditated. Cool, I'm ready. And again, it all sounds namby-pamby, but the research for meditation is a reason why meditation has been around for so long. If you're interested in meditation and my thoughts on meditation, I actually posted a video on it on my Instagram today. But essentially, people get stressed out in meditation because they try and turn their brain off. Meditation is not about turning your brain off. It's actually about becoming aware of your thoughts. So if you're stuck in traffic, you get pissed off with the traffic. The other cars are your thoughts. Fucking cars everywhere, getting stressed, can't turn my thoughts off. Meditation is like going in a hot air balloon. And you're just seeing that traffic from a completely different perspective. So you can see your thoughts for what they are. Thoughts are just thoughts. You put the emotion behind the thoughts. That's what it is. Thoughts are just videos that come into your head. The emotion you attach to that thought makes that thought powerful. Meditation teaches you to recognize this thought as, oh, a pen's come in. Cool. Whereas at the minute, when you try and meditate, oh, what's this pen? What colour is it? What brand is it? What make is it? And you literally don't fixate on this. Whether it's positive or negative, you fixate on it. And normally it's a negative thought. So straight away you get stressed in meditation because it brings up negativity. So again, this isn't a meditation thing, but if you practice meditation, the better you'll get at it, and I promise you it will change your life. Headspace is a great app. I can talk about that later. Once you're calm, then life comes in. Again, you women multitasking, like you smash the day. When you're in a calmer place, you wake up, you've taken back control of your morning. When you get to work, as I just said, things get thrown at you, you're in a better place to deal with it. Shit is still going to get thrown your way. Life is still going to be stressful, but if you're in a better place to deal with it, you'll be more productive. So again, it's tied into the whole health thing. The healthier you are, the more productive you're going to be at work. So again, healthy mind, healthy body. And then in the evening, wouldn't it be great just to actually go to bed? Like actually sleep, rather than having your brain racing a million miles an hour thinking, oh my God, I've got this to do tomorrow, and then this, and then Dave gave me that paperwork again, that stupid Julie. Wouldn't it be great just to be like, right, cool, bedtime, and then actually go to sleep? Like, sleep is one of the most critical things when it comes to fat loss. And again, this is why I'm talking about this stuff, why it's so important, because it's so important for fat loss. So yes, I'm a personal trainer, I want to get you the results, but actually, if you're not sleeping, no matter what I do, research shows if you're not sleeping well, you're going to crave sugar. Fat is a categorical scientific fact. If you're not sleeping well, you'll crave sugar. So me trying to write this nutrition plan for you, if you're craving stuff, how's that going to go down? So imagine actually taking back control, actually being in a good headspace, feeling positive, and then getting results. Awesome. So there's a reason why I'm going into this. There's a reason why we're doing this talk. It's all tied in. Prime example, how much better do you feel now? Yeah. So to put in perspective, Sophie was with me, she's an online client of mine, we worked with her about a year ago. And again, we just couldn't get things right, but your life is very hectic and stressful. This time, complete 360, she's completely into this whole mindfulness thing now, meditation, becoming aware. Dropped a kilogram the other day, this year. Again, complete taking back control, it works. Same with Artie, same thing, positive. Paula, prime example. Like all these people, it works. All this I'm talking about, it works. There's people in this room, which is what I'm saying, talk to these people. I'm not just saying this stuff, it works, and it works for a reason. Take back every morning, and everything else will fall into place. Oops. Gone backwards. My apologies, I'm flipping around my thing. I thought that didn't look familiar. That's not right. That's not how I visualised it. So, number 3. What is your routine? Everyone has a routine. So, do you have a wake-up time? What is your morning routine? Do you have a bedtime? When was the last time you actually did something for yourself? And again, just think about it. When was the last time you actually did something for yourself? And what book are you currently reading? Or what was the last book you read? So guys, this is a quick one, so give you guys a minute to figure this out. So do you have a wake-up time? What is your morning routine? Do you have a bedtime? So again, just actually think about it. Do you have a morning routine? You will have a routine, but what is it? What do you actually do every morning? Everyone has a routine. They'll shower first, or they brush their teeth first, or cook, whatever it is. Everyone has a routine. And again, we're just doing this to become aware of it. The first thing is awareness. If you're not aware of it, you can't do anything about it. Of course, in a second, I'm going to give you an example of a morning routine and what to do. But these are the key things, like actually becoming aware of your routines and your habits. And what you do again. There's some people in here that are smokers that are trying to stop smoking. Again, I spoke to you about the habit loop. I'm not going to go into that too much today, but again, it's just recognizing that everyone has habits and what are your habits. Again, become aware of the habits, makes it easier to sort out. So, an example of a morning routine, again, anybody who wants a copy of these slides, I'll happily give it to you. This is just an example of a morning routine I sent to a client in America that I put together for her. So again, these questions that I've asked, these are not my questions, these are Tony Robbins questions. And if you really want to go into it, the thing here, what was your morning routine? If you really want to dig deep into this, look at your morning routine and identify what things are positive and what things are negative. Because some things in your morning routine will actually hinder you. So again, part of this actual routine with this Tony Robbins and all the other people, they'll say, actually identify what your routine is, keep the positives, ditch the negatives, because you'll be doing some negative stuff in the morning you don't even realise. But once you become aware of it, you can change it. So, morning routine. Wake up 15 minutes earlier than normal, just 15 minutes. Some people wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, that's fine. I have to sometimes wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning for a client, it's once a week. I will now wake up at 4:45, 5 o'clock pretty much every day, apart from one day a week that I used to catch up. So again, I'm very regimented on my routine. I will go to bed by 9:30 every single night. Like that's literally me. After finishing reading my book, I'm ready to go to bed at 9:30. So it means that I can function on that amount of sleep. That's my personal routine. It doesn't matter, but people say I don't want to wake up earlier. Just start 15 minutes. wake up 15 minutes earlier. That gives you an extra 15 minutes in the morning to get shit done. That's 15 minutes you didn't have. The other day I had a super busy day with clients. I woke up, my first client was in at 9 o'clock, I was awake at 5 o'clock. I had everything done for the day I needed to get done, which we'll talk about in a second, by 8:30, because I gave myself more time. Remember the first slide, I don't have time. Make time. Make time. You're going to be tired anyway. People are always tired. But again, if you're more productive in that 15 minutes, you can get shit in place to make you better, to make you less tired. Honestly, it's only 15 minutes, that's all it is. Like, what are you going to do? You normally snooze. Most people will snooze for... I used to be a bugger for snoring, for snoozing. I don't think I snore. But yeah, but I used to be a bugger for it. I used to always snooze, but I won't snooze anymore. My alarm will go off, and maybe I don't snooze once, then I'm ready. That's it. Because then I know my purpose, I know I'm getting up. So write down 3 things to get grateful for. Gratitude journals. I give a lot of you guys gratitude journals. The reason why I get you to gratitude journal religiously is because it reframes your mind. Taking back control of the evening. If you've had a crap day at work, use the example of the nurse that's in the room. She sees people die daily. Imagine going home and having to deal with that shit. No, that's not a place you want to go into bed. Reframe your mind to look at the gratefulness that happens within the day. All the little good things, positive. There's always positives in the day. The gratitude journals is one of the most powerful things ever. You cannot beat gratitude. Every single person in this room, I don't care how crap your life is, you are not in a third world country. You've got loads of stuff to be grateful for. I don't care. People say to me, I don't have anything to be grateful for. Fuck off. Fuck right off. I've gone into the townships in South Africa when I was 16 years old, and I tell you what, those guys are the happiest people I've ever seen. Their shack was decorated in David Beckham posters that they pulled out of a magazine. They had no shoes on. I was teaching kids in these townships. One guy had no shoes on. He had a bit of glass sticking through his foot, and when he was told he couldn't carry on playing, he bawled his eyes out. And you're telling me you can't think of 3 things to be grateful for? No. So, again, it might be hard because if you're living in this negative place right now, to actually search the day for positivity, I get it, it's hard, but I promise you there's 3 things. I use this as an example to a lot of you guys, even if it's just a pen you're holding to write down that gratitude thing. I am grateful I have a pen, I'm grateful that I have a thing, and I'm grateful I know how to be grateful. There's 3 straight away, that's simple. But then, from there, follow the questions on and write down, get a little bit deeper. Why are you grateful for it? You're retraining your mind to search for happiness throughout the day. The better you get at being grateful, you'll see it in your day. Little things will happen in your day, and you'll be like, oh, awesome, that's cool. Happens to me all the time. It sounds really namby-pamby, but I promise you, it's absolutely nuts. Whoops. From there, ask yourself 3 questions every morning. What are you happy for about in your life right now? And what about it makes you happy? What am I excited for in your life right now? So again, first thing in the morning, you're reframing your mind to think of positive things. What's going to happen for this? What can I get excited for? Rather than, oh, I've got to go to work. Paul, I have to travel 2 hours to see her all the time in Stockport, 3 days a week. I love that. I absolutely love it. I look forward to travelling. She doesn't believe me because I get to travel for 2 hours in my car to listen to podcasts, to research this stuff. I absolutely love it. But you're going to Stockport? Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy doing it because I get to drive 2 hours in my car. Rather than, oh, fuck, that's awesome. I love it. Reframe your mind. What do you have to look forward to in your day? Whatever it is, whatever small, you get to say hi to your kids. Your kids might be little fuckers. Cool. But they're still your kids. At least, do you know what I mean? All these things, there's always positives in the situation. What are you proud of in your life right now? Again, I don't care what situation you're in. There's stuff in your life you have done or you're currently doing to be proud of. Again, even having kids. Cool, be proud of it. Then write down 3 tasks that will progress you forward in your life or business. So we're going to get into that. If you have time, meditate for 5 minutes. Again, Headspace app. There's a free version of Headspace. So if you've not heard of Headspace, write it down, Headspace. I have actually been on a meditation course a few years ago, which again, before I knew all this, before I was aware of this situation, I didn't understand the power of meditation. I actually went on a 6-week course to learn to meditate, and when the shit hit the fan, it was nowhere to be seen because I didn't put all this stuff in place. So I actually know how to meditate properly, and that Headspace app, I heard of it and I thought, it's going to be crap. I took the beginner's course, it's phenomenal. So if you do not know how to meditate, get Headspace, download the full version because it's cheap as hell. It will be the best thing you ever do to learn how to meditate. The guy's voice is amazing. Some people don't like it because they think it's patronizing. But when he actually, there's a really good podcast with him and you actually see that's just how he talks. So the guy's lived in a monastery and stuff. He's been a monk. The guy's unreal. Like he's really, really good at the meditation thing. But again, if you don't want to meditate for 5 minutes, just sit there quietly for 5 minutes. Just collect your thoughts. Again, it's not about meditation. I'm not going in too deep into meditation, but we can do it at some other point. But just trying to meditate, just get your thoughts together and then turn your phone on. So you've done all this stuff, so you've reframed your mind, thinking, what have I got to look forward to today? What have I got to be grateful in my life? You've already got a to-do list, this power list we're going to talk about in a second, and then you turn your phone on and life can hit you because you're in a good place to deal with it. The biggest thing that changed my life is a power list. A power list is not a to-do list. It is 3 critical tasks that you are going to do today to help you towards your big goal. So at the end, I'm going to give you the podcast to listen to for this. Listen to it. You think I swear a lot, this guy's unreal. This guy's nuts. But a power list, so it's 3 critical tasks. He says 5, I say do 3. So you've now got your big north, you know where you're going. That's your yearly goal. Break it down into a monthly goal, then a weekly goal. So by the end of the week, what do I need to do? By the start of this year, I told myself that I was going to do speaking. I've made it happen. How to make it happen? I put things in place. There's other things I wanted to do. My credit card, I wanted to pay off a credit card, I had a lot of debt. I said by the start of the year I wanted to pay off a credit card. I did it at the end of last month. I've cut it in half, it's completely paid off. But again, it didn't happen overnight. I had to put a plan of action in place. So every single day, 3 critical tasks that are going to move you forward towards your goal. Don't care what it can be. For example, buy a gratitude journal. This is for you guys, what you could potentially have it for today. Create a vision board, which we'll talk about in a second, and buy yourself a new book to read. So again, in the evening, but creating a vision board. This is one of the biggest things ever. So on the back of my phone, I have my vision board. So a vision board for the year, I've set myself a target, so you don't have to worry about what it is. Some nosy people, I'm trying to see what it is. But the amount of times people check their smartphones a day, wouldn't it be great if every time you saw your smartphone, you had a subliminal message of what you want to achieve? On that list, I've already achieved 2 things. And again, we're not even halfway through the year yet. The power of a power list cannot be understated. Get yourself a vision board. What these 3 goals, or even the other ones that are in there, just put it down there. Even if your big thing is to have £1 million, to have a specific car, whatever it is, put it in there, and every single time you look at your phone, subliminally, it will go in there. I cannot stress that enough. A power list is not a to-do list. It's a power list. Critical tasks. It's not a case of walk the dog. No. How is walking the dog going to help you? Unless it's getting more steps in. Can you see the difference? So if your goal is to get more steps in a day, that's your goal for the week, then walking the dog will help you. If that's not your goal, then walking the dog is just a thing to do. That's not going to help you towards your goal. What can you do today? 3 critical tasks to move you forward. And I promise you, this is what helps get shit done. So when you become aware of things, people talk about this all the time. This is why I did my video the other day on why self-help books don't work. You get motivated, but you do not take action. This is how you take action. A power list. You do not go to bed until you've done those 3 tasks. It's that simple. You don't make it absurd, and you make it things you can control. You can control. Like for me, for example, I'm going to sign up 3 new clients this week. I have no control over that because what people don't want to sign up. But what can I do to try and get myself to have 3 clients? I can make phone calls. I can keep doing my Instagram videos. There's things I can do to get me towards that. Does that make sense? Like it's little tasks to drive me towards that, but it's all things I can control. You can buy a gratitude journal, you can create a vision board, and you can buy a new book. You can't have the thing as, I wish someone could do this. No. You can't control what Gary does in the office. If what Gary does in the office affects you, that's not on your power list because you can't affect what Gary does. What can you do? This is how you take action. I talk about this all the time. People do not take action. So all this stuff we're talking about here, you have to take action. This is the best way of doing it, power list. So your exercise now. So again, you're going to take action. I'm not going to let you get away without doing anything. Write down 3 tasks that you can do today. Well, the time of the day today. I'll write down 2 things you can do today, but then tomorrow, what are 3 critical things you can do tomorrow that will move you forward towards your goal? Put things in place. It's not going to happen. You've got to think strategically. So you've got your big goal, step backwards. What little things can you do to move you forward? I spoke to someone the other day. I said they had to contact their mum straight away to get something done. And you did it. Little things. Who can you contact? What can you research? Who can you speak to? Just these little things. So for example, these hoodies that some of you guys did or didn't get, I've been talking about for ages. I put on my power list, it got done. I had to research. So my thing was to get client hoodies. Okay, my power list for that day was research hoodies. The next day, contact the guy. The day after that, order the hoodies. Blah, 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 blah. It's you keep moving it forward, you keep changing. As you progress towards your goals, you keep changing your power list so that every single day you are moving forward towards your goal. This is one of the biggest tools that you will use because it makes you get shit done. I've been doing this, like I said, since the end of December, and I've never been more productive in my whole 29 years of existence. So from this whole thing on these 4 exercises, you now know where you're going, you now can set your environment up for success, and now you can actually go and take action. This is the formula which has helped me literally completely change my life around 360. Again, this talk isn't about meditation and stuff, it's not about the necessarily mindfulness side of things, but this is just critical things that give you a flavour of where to look and dig deeper. These are the additional resources I would highly recommend you go look at. Podcasts, if you don't listen to podcasts, my God, podcasts are absolutely incredible. Fern Cotton's podcast, Happy Place, is phenomenal. The best place to start is with her talking to Russell Brand. Whether you like Russell Brand or not, the guy is on another level of like consciousness and sorting his shit out. I don't care what anyone says to me, yeah, he can be a bit of a knobhead, but the guy has sorted his stuff out, so listen to his podcast with Fern Cotton. It's phenomenal. Because Fern Cotton knows these people personally, they will open up to her in a way that you won't hear them talk about another thing. Next one, Ed Myatt, Max Out. This guy, absolutely phenomenal. Again, he's very American, he's very religious based, but don't worry about that. The keys are phenomenal. He's so motivational, and he's one of the people I class as one of my online mentors. He's a multi-millionaire, and again, when you talk about getting information, that guy's podcast, his latest podcast that he released yesterday, Paula can attest to it, Sophie, I need to give you the link to that as well, but his latest one, absolutely unreal. I've listened to it. It came out yesterday, I've listened to it twice already. And that is all about the mindfulness, taking control of your mind. So listen to that and take notes on it. Andy Frisella, this guy, the MFCEO podcast. The MFCEO project, what it's called. The MFCEO stands for the motherfucking CEO, which tells you the kind of content you're going to get from him. But this guy, his whole thing is, he is the highest paid speaker in the world. He gets paid £75,000 per speaking engagement. And he will literally say, he does this stuff. The stuff I've spoken to you about now is stuff I've learned from him as well. And he will go up and talk in front of thousands of people. And then afterwards, people will come up to him and say, what's the real success? And he will literally say, he will do a whole hour talk on the power list. And then people will come up to him afterwards and say, no, what's the real secret? And he will literally say, that is the fucking secret. Do the basics. There's nothing complicated about it. This is the funny thing. It's all simple stuff. Some of you guys are sat there today probably thinking, I knew this. Yeah, you did. I knew it, but no one fucking told me. So this guy, Andy Frisella, is very straight talking. It's no bullshit. So if you're really sensitive, don't listen to it, because he really does get deep and he makes you question a lot of things. But the guy's information on how to build a business and get stuff done is phenomenal. And Tom Bilyeu, The Impact Theory, some of the people in interviews on that is absolutely phenomenal. Books that are to be brilliant. I recommend this to pretty much every single client. It's just a general, basic, super easy read. So if you're not sure what to read in the evening before you go to bed about how to get things together, that are being brilliant. It's just, that's where you get things like the term mood hoovers. I heard the term mood hoovers from him, and it's basically all people in your life that try and drag you down. That's where I heard it first, from that book. It's a really easy read, so if you don't know what to read to try and take things further, that's amazing. The Power of Habits. So again, if you're looking at habits, like if you've got bad habits and you want to actually identify things with habits, The Power of Habits explains in a scientific way, but explains it so clearly, it's unbelievable. That's what I learned about Michael Phelps and the power of visualization. I don't know if anyone heard my story on Instagram, but Michael Phelps always used to visualize before he did a race. So his coach used to call it putting the videotape on. So he would see himself in any situation. So he'd see himself from the crowd watching himself swim. He'd envision himself swimming. What if his suit tore? What if something happened? Any eventuality. So when something happened, he could deal with it. In the Beijing Olympics, as soon as he hit the water, he knew something was wrong. His goggles started to fill up. On the last lap, he was completely blind. He could not see. When he started to swim, he knew in his head it would take 22 strokes, but halfway through it didn't feel right, so he knew he had to add another one in. He stayed completely calm, and all he could hear was a crowd going nuts at him. Like, or not at him, just he couldn't see anything. Touched the thing, Olympic record, world record. And at the end of it, the person interviewed him said, "How did it feel to swim blind?" And he said, "It felt how I imagined it would." So he didn't freak out, he'd already visualized it. So this whole stuff with visualization and meditation and all this stuff, taking control of your mind, these are top-end athletes that are doing it, top-end business people, all the top people in the world are doing it. They're no different from me and you. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, and this is the biggest thing I've realized. They're no different. They're no different. They actually just get shit done. Right? We're programmed in this society, a bit of a conspiracy thing. We're programmed not to get shit done. Take back control of your life, get shit done. And the last thing, the law of attraction. Now, this book's name has been changed to The Secret Behind the Secret. I got the original one that's called actually The Law of Attraction. You talk about action steps on getting stuff done. The Law of Attraction, when you read that book, you will say, what the fuck, about 20 times. It is so deep. It explains the law of attraction on a way you'll never see before. It is incredible. And The Secret will tell you this stuff, but this has actually got action steps. Some of the stuff we've done today comes from that book. It has action steps on how to change your life. It is a super easy book. It's about 130 pages. It's super big print. One of the best books you can ever on this, which I'll put into the Facebook group later on today, where you can actually listen to the guy talk about the law of attraction. It is absolutely phenomenal. And like anyone says to me, the law of attraction is the biggest thing that will change your life. Also from this, Instagram accounts. If you're on Instagram, people I recommend you follow: Ed Myatt, Andy Frisella, Tony Robbins, Russell Brand. This person here, Dr. Nicole LePera. No idea who she is, but she's a holistic psychologist. Her videos, when it comes to like mindset and stuff, I've never heard anyone talk on that level about things. She posts some really amazing things about books. And anyone that's seen me read my new latest book, the really super deep one about your mind, that it's taken me 5 days now, and I've only read about 20 pages. It's that deep. I learned this book off her. She posted a book list. And Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. So again, that guy is absolutely phenomenal. He's a really powerful, motivational guy. But again, the information is out there, like I said to you before. And when you start to listen to some of these guys, you'll see Ed Myatt and Andy Frisella led me to Tony Robbins. Russell Brand led me to Tony Robbins. This person, Tony Robbins, this was the person I learned it from. But again, they're all telling you things, what he's teaching in their own way. So Ed Myatt is teaching the same stuff as Andy Frisella, but they're doing it in different ways. Like, they don't know each other. They do now, but they didn't at the time. All these people, they're so far in different worlds, but they're still preaching the same stuff because it works. One of the biggest things I can say to you guys is just go out there and research what you want to research, but just do it. And that's the biggest thing that's sort of changed my life. And yeah, that's it. It's the end. Okay. Does anybody have any questions, by the way, about anything? Like, you can throw it at me. I'll happily. Anything? Awesome. Amazing. Cool. Right. So, bang on. Yeah, I'm quite impressed. I didn't even practice that. Awesome. I had it all written down. I was just going to flow there. I'm well happy with that. Yeah. I visualised it. So there we go. Right. If you give me 10 minutes to go and set the boot camp up. So anyone who doesn't know the gym, it's down the stairs into the big area. But yeah, like I said, I'll get everything set up and I'll meet you guys down there at past in the boot camp area. So yeah, feel free to mingle, speak to each other, do what you need to do to get yourself ready to train. If you're not